I'm so excited for today's conversation because, look, I'm with an OG Queen of Pitori. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Sure.
Appreciate it so much. That was a great introduction.
But I mean, did I lie though?
No. Other female DJs are always saying how it's so hard for them.
Yeah.
It's so difficult for them. They don't get taken seriously. They are always pushed aside. For me, it was the opposite.
And I like that you also mentioned dress code versus the actual doing of the DJ.
Sometimes they're just maybe showing off too much. It's like, why are you wearing that when we're just here for the music?
What's the best way brand-wise for a woman who's a DJ to position themselves? What is DJ etiquette and how much should a DJ preferably be paid, let's say as an up-and-coming DJ?
So DJ etiquette, firstly, I mean, it depends on in what space. If you're going less than 500 Rand an hour, you're literally killing the scene.
Baba Kulu, Baba Dese, the Queen of Pitori, and welcome to another episode of Music Politricks. This is all about music education. We are here to share all the facts and, of course, learn all the tricks from our expert guests. A big shout out to everybody on Spotify. Big shout out to everybody on Apple Podcasts. Keep reviewing the podcast. Keep sharing the kind of guests that you'd like to see and the kind of conversations that you'd like to have. And of course, a big shout out to you on YouTube as well. Really, really do appreciate it. Most of you are watching, but you're not actually subscribed. So please do the right thing. Now, I'm so excited for today's conversation because, look, I'm with an OG Queen of Pitori, and to be honest, when I think the first female DJ in South Africa, it's her name that comes to mind. Over and above that, she's really done so much for the industry, so much to enable people to reach their full potential in the music space. So this is a very important conversation we're about to have. And a big shout out to Lady Leah for joining us. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Sure.
Appreciate it so much. That was a great introduction.
But I mean, did I lie though?
No. I try. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So we keep going, Yeah, I mean, it's from humble beginnings.
Yeah.
And I think I was like 14 when I started DJing. Not actually allowed in the club, to be honest. But I was there.
Yeah.
And just always being part of the scene from an early age, which I don't encourage young kids to do that.
Yeah, especially
not now.
Era. Yeah,
especially back then it was a bit different. But I feel like I'm only growing up now in my 40s. I'm becoming a bit of an adult sometimes.
Only now.
Only now.
I love it so much for you. And I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, okay, but what did you say to the people to actually allow you in the club?
They didn't know. They didn't know. They thought I was 18.
Yeah. Of course, makeup and making sure that...
hair and, I was really voluptuous.
Yes.
And dressing in high heels and stuff. So I don't think they knew. And then one day I managed to get a VIP card at the one club somehow.
Yeah.
And I used that card to convince the rest of the clubs that I was already.
Hey, that's smart.
I was like, how do I get this card if I'm not 18?
That's really smart.
Yeah.
And how are your parents taking this? Because I can imagine they probably should have been worried.
I was given a choice at one point in just at the end of primary school, if I wanted to move to Cape Town. Obviously, I'm from Pretoria.
Yeah.
It was like a family thing. My mom got married and whatever. So I was given a choice with my brother. But I had to be in boarding school in Cape Town. So I was like, okay, Cape Town sounds nice. I'll go. I was in boarding school, but boarding school was in the middle of town,
Okay.
right there by Long Street and Loop Street.
Gee, that's a great place
So
to be.
I managed to like sneak out and, you know, literally walk down the road to the clubs
Yeah.
and just started to go out a lot. And I was very obsessed with the DJ.
Sure.
I was like, it didn't matter who it was. He could be the ugliest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
I fell in love with all of them. I was like, what is this guy doing to me? Like, wow.
Yeah.
So I was very drawn to the DJ box and the music. And in fact, when I was, as long as I can remember, when I was very small, I didn't want dolls and things. I wanted always like a little radio.
Yeah.
And then the radio kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and
Of
bigger.
course, until now it
Then I
became
was like a
mixers
big
and
studio,
CDJs.
yeah. So that was like my biggest thing. And, you know, always recording off the radio 5FM or any of those stations and finding new music, running to my friends like, oh, have you heard this song? You know, so it was always kind of there. But yeah, around the age of 14, started DJing. And then I moved back to Pretoria, not willingly.
Okay. What did you
It was
do?
like, okay, you got to come back now. It's like, but I just made my life here.
Okay.
So, but then that's kind of where the DJing took off.
Sure.
Because, you know, Joburg, it's like the hub of entertainment. Well, back then it was. And then I was a very persistent young girl. If someone said no to me, I would just sort of keep asking them, you know, if I wanted to DJ. Or I remember the first time, back then the clubs used to have like what we call chill rooms. So it was a big dance floor and it was like you could mission through the club, and then there were these rooms where you had like bean bags and lights. You could just kind of chill there.
That's cool.
And then I said to them, I'll bring all my gear and I'll just play in the chill room all night for free.
Yeah.
And then I created a bit of a vibe.
Nice.
And then eventually I was sort of moved to the main floor, but in the morning when they were like sweeping.
Okay, cool.
And
Hey,
then
that's a nice experience to actually be sweeping and jamming to the DJ.
And then we created this like morning vibe. My brother and I, he's also a DJ.
Yeah.
So then we created this like people would come from other venues in the morning for our set.
Nice.
So, and then, you know, it grows and then you start to get better sets during the night.
Cool.
And then other clubs want you. And so, yeah, the rest is history.
Was your first set in one of those chill rooms?
Yeah, well, pretty much. I would just bring all my gear and just, I don't even think I knew how to mix back then.
Yeah, you just put
I
it
just took like mixed compilations and mixed them over each other.
Yeah, and then there was this one day you just heard the songs mixing, right?
Yeah, so before I had that gear, we just bought a mixer, but we had 2 DVD players. So the DVD players, you can't adjust the BPM of the song.
Sure.
And when you beat match, the BPM needs to be the same.
Absolutely.
So I think we were just sort of waiting for the one song to break with no beat, and then we'd like sneak the other beat in.
Yeah.
Right? That's not how you mix.
No.
But the one time the 2 tracks had the exact same BPM originally. They were both made at 124 BPM.
Yeah.
And I just pushed play on the right moment and I could hear both, like I call it sometimes the heartbeat of the song. The kick drum just going together.
Yeah.
And I was like,
No way.
these two, are they like literally sitting together and they staying there?
Sure.
And then like I twigged that there's
Okay.
something like beat matching and keeping them in line.
And of course, you then went on to sharpen that skill. How did you then do that?
I would watch DJs a lot. When I went to an event, I would just want to stand there and watch them,
Okay.
you know, and then, because back then there was no one teaching, there was no YouTube.
Yeah.
You couldn't like really have lessons with anyone.
Yeah.
So you would just have to sort of pick it up as you went along.
And who are these DJs that you're watching? Who were you really
Everyone.
into?
Everyone. It didn't matter who it was.
Yeah.
It was just someone pushing play. I would be mesmerized.
And when did you start to realize that actually this is working out? I'm actually starting to become really popular. I'm getting bookings left, right,
Yeah.
and center.
It was in high school. I think it was standard 7, but now they call it grade 9. And I was being booked regularly. And back then also the aim was to be on a flyer, like an actual pamphlet.
Sure.
And, my name was coming up on a lot of flyers. And I think I was in the newspaper at one point.
That's cool.
And I was making some money.
Nice.
So I was just like, well, I don't think I even need to finish school. I'm already doing what I want to do.
And you're in high school at this point.
But I did finish school.
Sure.
And, I was a very like stubborn but headstrong young girl.
Yeah.
So as much as my mom was like, yeah, but you need to, study something else. And I was just like, no, I'm doing this and I'm doing that alone.
Yeah.
In hindsight, now, I wish I did listen to her, because sometimes you want something to fall back on if, like COVID
Sure.
was something
Yeah,
where
it was
we couldn't
tough.
perform, we
Yeah.
couldn't make money. And, if I was like, I don't know, an accountant or a lawyer, you could have still have done, your daily job.
But it's working out now regardless, right?
Yeah, look, I'm always hustling. DJs are always going to be hustlers.
Yeah.
I do multiple things now. So, but it is all mainly in the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm trying to balance my lifestyle I've just opened a fitness studio.
Nice.
So, entertainment industry, toxic environment.
Yeah.
And then fitness studio, healthy.
Yeah.
So you've got to, get that balance.
That's a very good way to also approach it, because it can get very toxic, also very tiring. And there's no time to do all of these things like staying healthy, going to gym, keeping fit. So I like that.
Yeah, look, late nights.
Yeah.
That people don't realize how important sleep is.
Yeah.
And how bad lack of sleep is.
Yeah.
Only realized this in my 40s when I used to stay up like, I don't know, for 2-3 days at a time.
Yeah.
Back then, with the raves and all of that, we were crazy. So now I realize how important sleep is.
Mm-hmm.
And, drinking all the time. We just used to drink and do whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
And you can't really keep doing that once you hit 40. You
Yeah.
need to start thinking about how am I going to be physically and mentally when I'm like 60 and 70 and 80.
For sure.
And you don't want to have Alzheimer's and like not be able to stand up off your chair.
Mm.
So there comes a point, like I said, that you start to become an adult.
Yeah.
And you make better decisions.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I don't want to still go play in those places.
For sure.
I love what the music does to the dance floor and how people feel and, the energy I get back from it.
Yeah.
And what they get from me. But I can't say that I stay and hang around and jawl all night anymore.
Cool.
And
that makes sense.
Yeah, like I'll go an hour before and stay an hour later and, mingle and chat to the DJs and listen a bit and sit with the owner and stuff. But the whole night story, no.
And you're quite a versatile DJ, and quite is even an understatement. But I would say dance, like just to group it. House music. House music is your thing.
Yeah.
But you could have honestly chosen any other genre. So why house music?
I was just always attracted to that clubbing sound.
Yeah.
But it started sort of in the underground club venues in Cape Town. There were 1 or 2 commercial places that I would sort of pop into, but I'd always think like, oh, this music's so like cheesy.
Yeah.
So I would always gravitate to the more like dark, clubby sort of sounds. And then also, I was also gravitating towards the deep house, like soulful Cape Town sound.
Yeah.
Back then, it was the songs that came out was like Robin S. and Show Me Love and, that like organ house, which sort of sat in that deep house category.
Mm-hmm.
But also you can go deeper than that, real soulful jazzy stuff.
Yeah.
So I had the more hectic clubby sound that I really liked, and then the soulful organ house, like vocal kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And, I've always said to like my students, because I have a DJ school now, which we can get to, but you don't have to box yourself into one genre.
For sure.
And also, let's say you're an Afro tech DJ, what happens if someone books you at like a pool party during the day?
Yeah,
for
where it's
like
chilled.
Or You can't just play an Afro tech set,
Absolutely.
you know, or let's say you get booked at a corporate event
Yep.
and they want to pay you like 30 grand. You're going to say no just because.
Like you have to get it together.
You have to be a DJ that is able to read the crowd no matter where you are.
Yeah.
So being versatile is important, but not playing anything you don't like. So like there's some corporate tracks that I just cannot play. I can't get myself to play it.
Sure.
You know, like an example would be like the Macarena or YMCA.
Yeah.
Like I'll play other songs that might be similar, but just those two, like.
The Dreamstream studio in Randburg is a full-service studio on Bromfisher Drive. It's perfectly suited for podcast, music recordings, and general video recordings. Backed up by an experienced editing and production team means you can walk in, record, and walk out knowing that everything will get done as you require. Our mobile gear ensures we can cover your video and live streaming needs on location too. We got the cameras, the lights, and the action to make you and your brand shine. Contact us now, studio@dreamstream.co.za, and we'll make it happen. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself.
They just give me the chrol, right? So I won't play it. I'll play other songs which are more appropriate. But
Okay.
So that's the thing, is that you can choose music in any genre, but you must still like the song.
And what are those go-to songs for you, particularly in the corporate space?
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah.
In Kalagata.
Of course.
Now I've gone blank. But there's a lot. A lot of the local South African older tracks, you know, Brenda Fassie and
For
Weekend
sure.
Special.
For
And
sure.
also depends on who's in front of you. You might have a group of Afrikaans people.
Yeah.
You know, then you must play Witskuna and whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But I won't play like every Afrikaans song or every Afro song. I would like choose specific ones that I kind of like, you know, from back in the day, and something that I can at least smile to. You know, I sometimes compare it to, you know, the music that you play is the same as like getting dressed. If you're not a floral, frilly girl, and I put that dress on you, even though other people like it, you're still going to feel awkward.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's not your style.
Absolutely.
Even if everyone says you look amazing, you'll still feel awkward.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the same with playing a song you don't like. It's like they might be loving it, but you literally feel like you want to climb under the DJ box because it just feels wrong.
Yeah.
It's not you.
Absolutely.
So, however, if you ever want to like be relevant in the more underground scene, then you do need to prove yourself in that space.
Yeah.
Right. So, for instance, like, I don't know, you know, like Truth and a couple of these, you know, and Club and these clubs that have been around for so long.
Yeah.
They play techno and deep underground vibes. Like that appeal, I'm drawn to that a lot.
For sure.
It takes many, many years to get credibility in those spaces because you have to be very specific in playing new music that they've never ever heard before. So you have to be able to search for music properly.
Yeah.
And you have to be super good technically.
Yeah.
Like your beat matching must be perfect. And they don't want to hear anything they've heard before.
Yeah.
So you have to be like at the forefront of finding music and being technically like amazing. Also your energy and everything. So for me, that was very important to have my credibility in the underground scene. And once you have that, you can go and do whatever you want.
Sure.
Like, there's a lot of DJs that play at those venues that, you know, like for instance, I don't know, back in the day, if you think of like Black Coffee, I can tell you now he's played corporates and he's played all those gigs. He's been doing it for over 35 years.
Yeah.
But he always had that place in the
in the
underground scene where it was like real clubbing
100%.
and people that really understood music. So, but then if he went and played at a corporate or let's say a commercial club and played, you know, some of the more popular hits, it's not like he would be kicked out of the underground scene because he's
Yeah.
already made his mark,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You cannot do it really the other way around, though.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't start as a commercial DJ
commercial.
and then try and become
I get that.
an underground DJ,
I
you
get
know?
that. It's like now the music snobs are gonna judge you, and they're like, oh,
Or like it's a different like headspace how you choose music. You know, once you're choosing music for a commercial crowd, like you are conditioned from the beginning to play like crowd pleasing music that they know.
yeah,
And in the other space, it's all about educating them with stuff they don't know.
yeah,
So, you know, and then you get places which are like in between.
sure,
You know, you'll play like one song they know and then like 3 songs they don't know.
sure,
And then, you know.
sure.
So there's always this like give and take, educate and entertain at the same time.
And you sound like you've had a really exciting career, and I'm sure it has been.
Yeah.
But I'm also sure that there were really some hectic challenges, some mistakes that were made. What are some of those?
There were challenges. I think mostly it was like traveling, getting paid, and you know, making sure that everything is sorted regarding like accommodation and gear and stuff like that. For me, those were really the only challenges. Now I've got strict contracts in place that make sure I get paid before and I need to see the hotel booking and all sorts. I mean, I've been left in Mozambique in the middle of Pemba
No way.
without, you know, a hotel. No one picked me up from the airport, like crazy stuff.
Whoa.
And there you can't just like order an Uber or like pick up your phone.
Yeah. How did you get out of that?
I was able to get Wi-Fi at one place.
Okay.
And I went to the event that was on Facebook because back then it was just Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
And I checked who the other DJs were on the night.
Okay.
And I like DM'd them and said, please, I'm stuck.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what to do. And then eventually one of them came and like rescued me.
Thank goodness.
Because the promoters' phones were off and, you know, all sorts of things like that.
That's scary.
Yeah, it was scary. So it's just sort of challenges like that. But luckily, touch wood, I haven't had any like really bad crime instances, you know, where like I've been, I don't know, held up in a room or hijacked or anything like that. Please, God, never let that happen.
Yeah.
Also, I'm also very like feisty and headstrong. So I know that a lot of female DJs have had, you know, promoters and stuff come like sexually want stuff from them in order to, let's say, get better sets and stuff.
Yeah, and we hear about these stories.
Yeah, but I've never had that because they just automatically know they won't get away with that kind of thing with me.
And that's
like, don't
good.
even come
Don't
and
even try.
Don't even try.
Yeah.
Because I will knock you out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's also something that sometimes we have to learn is that people treat you the way you let them treat you.
Absolutely.
If they feel like they can approach you in that way,
Oh, they will.
then maybe you should like show your teeth more. Like, be like, you know, what do you actually think? Like, I'll phone the police right now.
Yeah.
But then other girls, they feel like they have to do it because otherwise they're not going to be able to grow. You know, or like maybe he'll give me more sets if I just do it. So that kind of thing will never work for you. Never, ever, ever, ever. And I mean, sometimes it's just people just get trapped in a space and it's not their fault. So I feel like I've been very lucky not to have any major issues happen to me in my 32 years of DJing.
Yeah.
But I am very streetwise. You know, again, touch wood. Where's the wood? I need some wood. So I'm constantly looking around me when I'm driving, when people are following. If I feel unsafe, I make the bouncer walk with me.
Cool.
So, yeah, and if anything, I'll literally stare someone in the eyes and like point them out.
Yeah.
So that they'd feel like I've actually noticed them or whatever. I'm not saying I'm invincible.
Sure.
Like,
sure. But you can put on a challenge.
Yeah, and I'm always you know, if someone always knows where I am
Okay.
or tracking me, you know. So that's the other thing is my family, we know always where we are by like tracking the phone
Yeah,
and stuff. And for
yeah.
us, it's not like, oh my gosh, my husband always wants
No,
to
it's
know
a
where
safety
I am. It's like,
measure.
yeah, we want that.
Yeah.
And always just having your back. You have to have your own back.
Yeah.
So, and like, I don't like Ubering unless I really have to.
Yeah, because these days it's also
Yeah.
quite tricky with the Ubers. And what is your perspective in terms of female DJs when you started and throughout the process until now?
Well, I was one of only 2 or 3 female DJs back then.
Yeah.
And the 2 of them that I did know were actually from UK.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
they
I know you
weren't-
guys gigged a lot together as
Yeah,
well.
that's how Divas on Deck started.
Yeah.
It was me, Kate Sutherland, and Lalisha. Or actually, I lie. Lalisha was from South Africa. But before Lalisha was another lady, Vicky Edwards, who was originally there. But so the 3 of us gigged together a lot. And then there was an album that came about where we had like a triple pack CD compilation thing. We each did one. And then we toured it. And it was super cool. It was like, I think I was 21
Yeah.
at that stage.
That's so cool.
And we were touring and doing, you know, lots of fun places. And it just kept going for a while. And then they moved overseas and Lalisha stopped DJing. And then I felt like I wanted to carry on with the Divas on Deck's brand. And I made it into a female DJ agency at that time.
Nice.
And like mentorship as well.
Yeah.
But getting back to your question, as a female DJ, it I don't know why, but for me, it feels like I've had a different experience to other female DJs.
Okay.
Other female DJs are always saying how it's so hard for them.
Yeah.
It's so difficult for them. They don't get taken seriously. They are always pushed aside. For me, it was the opposite.
Yeah.
Because I was a female, people noticed me more. And they were like, wow, there's a girl playing, like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
let's give her another slot. But maybe it's because I firstly wasn't running with the whole female thing. I always felt like I was one of the boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was never like, look at me, I'm a girl.
Yeah.
And also, I always wanted to prove myself on the decks. It wasn't like, let me just wear like a little nipple cup and then they can watch my boobs all night. I wanted to like rock it.
Absolutely.
I wanted to prove myself. So I got more opportunities because I was a girl,
Yeah.
you know. And again, maybe it was my attitude. People tend to respect me and in some kind of way more than even sometimes the guys. Because there was like a room full of male DJs and me,
Yeah.
you know. And again, some of the other female DJs are like, when they were in that space, they were like pushed to the corner and not respected. And luckily, I didn't have that experience.
Sure.
I just feel like if you're a woman, you actually have one up on the guys because everyone likes to see a girl DJing.
Yeah.
And there is some sort of like finesse, you know, when girls play, you hear this a little bit more like, I don't know, emotional or beautiful in the music they choose. Sometimes, not
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
Like, guys, don't come for me now. You know? And, you know, some women do it for the wrong reasons. You know, they might be models and they want to just like become more popular, but they're not really focusing on the craft. It's more like becoming an influencer. So there's 2 sides of the coin.
Yeah.
And with my DJ agency and the mentorship and stuff, I always try to teach the girls to, you know, not run with a female thing.
Yeah.
Always make sure you are really good at what you do.
Yes.
Because they're going to probably book you the first time because you're a girl or you're pretty. But if you don't do a good job, then they probably won't book you again.
Absolutely.
So in this industry, it's all about the longevity, you know, of your career.
And I like that you also mentioned dress code versus the actual doing of the DJing, like playing.
Yeah.
Because right now, that's a lot of the conversation where DJs who are women are concerned. You know, it's like, okay, but you look amazing. You've got a great body, but what about how you're playing?
Yeah. I mean, there are beautiful, great bodied female DJs that do play well.
That's
But
100%.
sometimes, like I said, it's just for the wrong reason. And then sometimes they're just maybe showing off too much. It's like, why are you wearing that when we're just here for the music?
Cool.
You know, you're not at a pool party, you're in a club. Like, put on a top.
What's the best way,
know?
brand-wise, for a woman who's a DJ to position themselves?
Well, you've got to be authentic and yourself. People need to be able to look at you and hear you and understand you from that.
Yeah.
So, like, it depends on your personality. You know, like, there was one girl, for instance, as an example, in Port Elizabeth. She's a great DJ. And I walked into the club and I heard this, like, banging hip-hop set, but scratching and, like, killer hip-hop.
Yeah.
And then I looked at her, and she just had like a little white t-shirt and a little ponytail, and she looked very timid, but she sounded like banging.
Yeah.
You know, and then I ended up having a conversation with her, and she mentioned to me that she was just like a bit shy to like come out with, you know, who she was.
Okay.
And then, you know, I encouraged her and stuff. And then, like, I think 2-3 months later, I came back and I saw her, and she was like gangster.
Oh, that's
dressed, you know, whatever. And then she looked like she sounded.
Yeah.
Because she sort of came out of herself a little bit. She wasn't so withdrawn, worrying about what everybody's going to think, you know. So she was able to express herself in her clothes and the way she was and in her music. And it all just made sense.
Okay.
You know, so if you look at her, you can already see she's a killer hip-hop DJ.
Sure.
Because she's authentic and she's not like trying to put anything on. So in that way, you want to be authentically you know. If you are that pretty girl that likes the frilly dresses, do that like times 100 because you're on stage.
Yeah.
So you can't just, you know, you're a performer.
Yeah.
When you are on stage or behind a DJ box or people are looking at you and you're performing, you need to make an effort with your outfits.
Absolutely.
And people need to understand who you are just by looking at you and hearing you.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't matter who you are. You could be, you know, a more girly girls that would will understand you and
The Dreamstream studio in Randburg is a full-service studio on Bram Fisher Drive. It's perfectly suited for podcast, music recordings, and general video recordings. Backed up by an experienced editing and production team means you can walk in, record, and walk out knowing that everything will get done as you require. Our mobile gear ensures we can cover your video and live streaming needs on location too. We got the cameras, the lights, and the action to make you and your brand shine. Contact us now, studio@dreamstream.co.za, and we'll make it happen. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself.
you know, be drawn to you, or you could be like more of a tomboy girl,
Yeah.
or guy, or whatever you want to be, but dress and feel like, you know, comfortable in your own skin, and that will be your brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because as soon as you're faking it, people can see through it.
Absolutely.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Even maybe not at the beginning,
Yeah.
but people will eventually see through it. And then that faking it is going to become tedious for you.
Yeah, and because there's no comfort in doing that, and especially in the long run.
And if you're trying to be like someone else, there is already that person. Like
They already exist.
they're already there. They're like 5 steps ahead of you. Like, be you.
Yeah.
And the more people see that you're authentically you and you're just going with the flow, the more they get sort of attracted to you in some kind of way.
For sure.
And trusting you and believing you and what you do.
Tell us about the agency and how you mentor women and what you do really to just enable people to just reach their full potential, because that is such an honorable thing, a noble thing to do.
Thank you. So my first agency was Divas on Decks, just for female DJs. obviously I try to encourage them all to be their best selves and practice and get good music and everything, but it didn't really work out that way completely. I felt like a lot of the ladies, like when they got to that point in their career that they were like really starting to get booked, they weren't loyal to the agency. They would take private gigs and sort of like go behind my back. So that kind of broke my heart a little bit. So then I stopped that. But then, you know, I think it was just before COVID, a lot of people were asking me to teach them. I'm talking now about the teaching side. The agency side I'll get to now.
Sure.
So I would teach them, but I didn't really just want to focus on like just the technical stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to like help them as a whole, because there is so much politics and stuff in the industry that I ended up like mentoring them. That's why it's now called the mentorship.
Yeah.
And, you know, they'd phone me like, what do I do? Yeah, what do I say to them? How do I get this contract? Like, should I take this gig? That's not normal. It's not a normal DJ course.
Yeah.
That's mentorship.
Absolutely.
So I always had something in me that wanted to protect the industry and the DJs around me, like a mom.
Yeah.
You know, even when I was the youngest 14-year-old, I was always the loudest one to speak up. That monitor's broken, that CDJ, blah, 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 blah. And the guys would always just like wait for me to like say something. You know, like I don't want to be the one complaining all the time.
That's so boss though.
And now 30 years later, I am like the mom of the industry in a way, but I don't feel old.
Sure.
And I don't feel just like a female. I still just feel like one of the OGs. In a way. But because I've always had this, like, I want to like make sure the industry is taken care of and no one messes with anyone else or takes advantage of each other. I want to be in a way like a protector. I would always be there to help advise and guide DJs and even the venues themselves. So as an agent, so now going to the agency part of what I do, managing DJs. Of course, I'm looking after the DJs and their careers and guiding them as well. But as an agent, you are also looking after the club as the middleman.
Sure.
So I need to make sure I'm giving the venue a DJ who will be good and actually arrive and, you know, not mess on the decks. And so I'm looking after the club and also the DJ themselves. And, you know, if there's any issues from either side, I'm the buffer.
Yeah.
So I'll always be, in fact, if there's any issues, I'm the one that gets all the hate.
Sure.
Which is fine for me because I don't want the club to hate on the DJ. I'd rather them fight with me.
Yeah, and it'd be a teaching moment for the DJ perhaps.
Yeah. And me taking away the admin and stuff from the music, from the artist, you know, they must rather be in studio creating than sitting and doing invoices and chasing after money.
I get it.
Right? Even though I'm also an artist.
Yeah.
And I do my own thing as a DJ. But I like looking after other people as well, which is kind of weird. But you know, then I get stuck in between stuff.
Sure.
When there's issues and politics, and I'm always fighting with promoters and, you know.
But it's also because you know it so well and you probably also know why things happened the way they did. So
and there's a standard. There's a standard of how DJs should, like DJ etiquette. There's a standard of how much they should get paid.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like undercut that kind of thing, you know. They pay DJs much less and some DJs actually accept it, which creates, you know, a ripple effect with everyone else almost at some point having to lower their fees.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, well, I can get him for 200 Rand an hour. Why must I get him for 1,000 Rand an hour? And, you know, so trying to also like mediate all of that. Sometimes giving DJs advice, like, I understand you need money, but don't go that low.
And what is DJ etiquette, and how much should a DJ preferably be paid? Let's say as an up and coming DJ.
So DJ etiquette, firstly, I mean, it depends on in what space. In the DJ box itself, you know, it's kind of like always greeting the other DJ, giving him space, not going over your set time, you know, not leaning over someone else's decks and trying to plug in, and, you know, just like giving each DJ their space, but also being very courteous to each other.
For sure.
You know, at a club, it's always, you know, being nice to the barman and the bouncers and the cleaners and everything.
Yeah.
You must be friends with all of those guys.
100%.
Because they're the ones who are having the meetings with the owners and saying, oh, that DJ was cool, you know?
Yeah.
So you need to be friendly with everybody. And, you know, be on time, mingle, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then with regards to fees, if you have been taught, but you're starting out and you can mix, and someone, let's say, right at the beginning, you can do free sets for everyone once.
Sure.
So this club, do a free set, that club. But as soon as someone asks you back, you start at 500 an hour.
Okay.
Or if it's like 5 hours, you can sort of round it off to like $2,000.
Okay.
Right? You can sort of go a little bit lower. But no one must accept less than 500 Rand an hour.
Yeah.
Because it's your time, it's your petrol, it's your music, it's everything, right? So if you're going less than 500 Rand an hour, you're literally killing the scene.
Yeah.
And then, you know, once you're more in this slightly more professional bracket, maybe you've been playing for a couple of years now, and there's people regularly requesting you, you should be maybe 1,000 Rand an hour.
Okay.
And then, you know, maybe you'll get to, after a couple of years, like the 10 grand an hour space. But then it's 10 grand for an hour, maybe 15 for 2 hours. It kind of goes in a sliding scale in a way.
Okay.
And then the sky's the limit. I mean, you could get to Black Coffee's, you know, rates, which are like millions now.
Yeah.
But normal sort of circulating resident DJs in a certain space, I would say maybe 2.5 grand an hour, depending on who you are, in a residency venue.
Okay.
Where you're always playing like your home venue.
Okay.
But like a normal once-off gig, it shouldn't be less than, I don't know, depends who you are, 5-10 grand.
Okay.
If you're a radio DJ, maybe 20 is the minimum.
Okay.
So, and it also depends on how long you've been playing and how many people you attract to a venue, and maybe how many followers you've got.
Sure.
So, and what kind of event. So if it's a corporate, it should be more.
Yeah.
If it's your friend's house party, you know, you're going to do it for less.
Yeah.
And it's funny enough, I find how it sometimes works is the better the event, like the more everyone wants to play at that event, the less they pay everyone, because they know that everyone wants to play.
Sure.
So for instance, like big festivals, you would think that they would pay you like your highest rate.
Yeah, that's what we'd think.
No, they'll probably pay you like a quarter of your rate.
Okay.
Just because, like, take it or leave it. Like everyone wants to play.
Yeah. Is it beneficial though for the DJ? I mean, to be on that big stage, I think is
Of
really
course.
cool.
No, yeah. And it's very enjoyable.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I would say like the less enjoyable the gig, the more I charge.
I get
So
that.
if it's like some dive in the middle of nowhere that I don't really want to do, I'll be like, okay, 20 grand. If they pay it, then, you know, then it's worth making the mission and doing it.
Cool.
And then you still bring your best. You know
Sure.
what I mean? Some people will be like, you know, why are you playing at such a like crap place? But in my eyes, if people love you and they want to hear your music, I'm not here to judge anyone.
Yeah.
Like you can be anyone. If you are supporting me and you want to hear my choice of music, then I'll be there.
Yeah.
You know? But sometimes it's just more like strenuous than other times. You know? And then the price goes up. So yeah.
And what if people want to get mentorship from you? They want to learn from you. They want to be a part of, the kind of world that you've built. What is the process?
So I do one-on-one sessions as well as online. So it doesn't really matter where you are.
Okay.
I can help, with mixing and sort of the whole DJ lifestyle. Obviously, my time is limited because I do everything one-on-one with them.
Okay.
So sometimes I'm fully booked, and then we'll place you sort of 2 months, because I do 8-week cycles
Okay, cool.
with DJs. Sometimes they want to go for a second 8 weeks if they want to do something more advanced.
Okay.
So if I'm fully booked, then you can guarantee that in the next, let's say, 8 weeks, there will be some openings.
Okay.
So, yeah, look, you can just DM me anyway.
Yeah.
All my socials, I'm very active, and I pretty much reply to everyone.
Okay.
And then we can discuss times and places and how. I'm in the east of Joburg.
Okay.
So we do it at my studio. And yeah, we find a date and a time that suits us both. And, sometimes it's not just a beginner that would come.
Sure.
It might be someone who's been playing for years, but they don't understand why they're not getting gigs.
Okay.
And then I sort of assess the brand, the socials, the mixing, like the choice of music, and like, why is this person not getting booking?
Okay.
And then I help them with that. And sometimes to get the ball rolling, because, everyone's like sheep. No one's going to book you if someone else hasn't booked you,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
So as soon as you've been booked by everyone, then everyone else wants to book you. But how do you get that first booking? So that's always tough for some DJs, like, to get that momentum going.
Yeah.
And then I explain to them how to maybe host their own events.
Nice.
Small, And because most of the DJs are hosting their own events, if I host my own event and I book you, and you hosting an event, then the chances are, if I book you, you're going to book me.
Yep.
Because now we've had a moment to connect and talk and have a drink and, like, exchange money and whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's difficult to get to know other DJs and club owners, like, if you're just, like, entering into the space. So, you can DM everyone you want, but a lot of people won't reply to you.
Yeah.
And you can give out demos and stuff, but most of them won't be listened to.
Yeah.
So until you have that time to, like, face-to-face network with them,
That's the thing. Yeah.
and actually sit and maybe have a drink and talk,
Yeah.
they probably most likely are going to just overlook you. So if you start hosting something small at, like the little lounge around the corner from your house, right? And, the chances are the venue would maybe give you a small budget to bring in entertainment.
Yeah.
Even if it's $5,000.
Yeah.
Then you start booking all of the other guys, and then you've actually, like, paid them to have that time with them to speak and engage, and you've actually supported them first.
Yeah.
And now they might feel like they want to support you too.
Yeah. Makes it easier to create some form of a trade exchange in the world of.
And also just networking.
Yeah.
So there's ways around getting gigs if you don't have gigs.
So how much does it ideally cost? Because, I mean, it's Lady Leah we're talking about here. So how much in terms of budget would someone be looking at in terms of that sort of service from you?
For the 8-week course, it's not much. It's like 6-7 grand.
Okay.
You can do a shorter course, but it then becomes more expensive per lesson.
Sure.
And yeah, I mean, we can do it over a space of 8 weeks, or we can cramp it into 4 weeks if I have the time.
Okay.
But also, your brain also needs time to register what you've just done. So 8 weeks I found is like the sweet spot.
Okay.
And then once you've paid for those fees, you might, if you don't already have headphones, a laptop, and if you want to practice at home, a small controller. So it is an investment.
Yeah.
But if it's your passion, and if you are like like crazy about music and you can't stop thinking about it, then it's an investment into your craft.
Yeah, and I guess anything you love, you have to invest in.
Anything. And it will take you 10 years before people notice you. It's same with being a doctor. You will study for 10 years. A lawyer. It's not just, oh, now I can mix, now I can get gigs. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's a long learning process before you really, and again, the 10-year mark I find is also a sweet spot where you like cross this barrier where people start to really respect you as a DJ. You know, obviously 20 years and 30 years is like other milestones.
Yeah.
But for the DJs that have been around, I would say keep pushing until 10 years. And then you'll see there's going to be like a new phase in your DJing career as a whole.
And it's so important that you say that because we live in a world and era of instant gratification, of people like starting to do something now and expecting all of the results in the whole wide world next week.
Look, there's always that odd one where maybe they're a producer and they make a hit out of the blues and suddenly they're famous.
Yeah.
Like you'll get that once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
But that's like winning the lottery.
Yeah.
Like, don't expect that to happen.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hard work. But you're supposed to just enjoy the process and have fun with it and just understand exactly what you're doing. Like, you know, I don't want to get all like deep and stuff, but music is like a vibration and it causes like feelings and emotion. And a lot of people are hurting and going through stuff.
Yeah.
So when they're on the dance floor and they're smiling and they're dancing, it's like healing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're creating memories and you're healing. And because of the music you're choosing, you're creating like an energy and a vibe. So it's really an amazing place to be. There's a lot of power in that and a lot of joy and happiness that you get as well. So that's really what you are doing and what you should focus on.
And it's so profound what you're saying, because sometimes we go through things, whether it's exciting news and we're very happy, there's a song we can relate to that we play. If we are hurting and we're feeling really sad and it's a bad day, there's probably a song that you'd like to play because of that mood, because of how the music will make you feel.
Yeah, and the DJ can change that mood.
Yeah.
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 So it's quite special.
I've really enjoyed this conversation. I've learned a lot myself.
Thank you.
I really do appreciate it. What is the one piece of advice that you feel like is very important for DJs in the kind of era of time we're in?
So I would say take all the tools that you have with regards to the internet and social media and new gear. You know, now gear's gone from vinyl to like streaming. You can streaming DJ now.
Yeah.
And I would say be knowledgeable in everything. Also try and be, you know, try and do as much as you can by yourself. So even with regards to like social media design work and stuff, like you can use apps like Canva to do like small design. You don't always have to rely on other people.
Yeah.
Although there are instances where you should use a professional for certain things.
Sure.
Try and be very independent. Embrace where technology is going and social media and stuff, but don't like get fixated on the easy way to do stuff. You also have to know where the craft came from and how to do it properly, because as soon as you get into a position where, you know, maybe you don't have a controller that has a sync button, right? You should be able to mix by ear.
Yeah.
So like I'll use the sync button for some things, but not most of the time. Same with social media. Like you can't rely on just how many likes you have. Maybe I've seen DJs with 100,000 followers and no gigs.
Yeah.
You know? So there must be a balance in understanding who you are and where everything came from, knowing the groundwork and how to do things from the ground up.
Yeah.
And then also embracing all the new technology and sort of merging it.
Yeah.
You know? And also just always being authentic. People can see through you.
Facts.
Yeah.
Those are facts.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming
I
through.
really appreciate it, and I've also enjoyed it a lot.
I'm so glad.
Thank you
I'm
so
super
much.
glad. And that is how we wrap it up right here in today's episode of Music Politricks. A big shout out to Lady Leah. Make sure if you'd like to, learn a couple of things, you do follow her on the socials. All the details are going to be at the bottom of the screen. And if you'd like to book this studio, perhaps you want to record your own music or record your own podcast, all you need to do is send an important email to info@dreamstream.co.za. Kalina, ke nna Boo-c, Baba Khulu, Baba Dese, Boo-c the Queen of Pitori, and we are out.
Thank you.